On the injury note, the one person that I will talk about is Stiggers. From what I know, all right, he came to the sideline after a play, and he actually fell out. The good thing is he was conscious, all right, and our guys did a hell of a job, just like most medical staffs around this league do in situations like that, and they took the necessary steps just to make sure that we do everything we can to be on board when it comes to those situations. So he was able to talk. I want to make sure that, I go and see him after this just to make sure I'm good with everything. But for the most part, he was good. He was good. So when it came to this practice, good hard practice, which I knew it would be against a team that's been to the playoffs a number of years, against a team that has a scheme from a defensive standpoint, has a scheme that's difficult to deal with. And those guys have been in that scheme for a long time with Todd. Offensively, obviously, they have a new scheme there. I thought our guys did a really good job there. But there's more work to do. And listen, I like everything about how practice was today. Obviously, there are going to be some dust-ups that happens in every joint practice. But I thought the guys did a really good job of, forgetting about it, going to the next play and continue practice. Because that's the one thing we're trying to do is get 2 days of good work with these guys. So, any questions?
Aaron, real quick on Stiggers, you said he fell down.
He came to the sideline and he just passed out. The thing is, I don't want to do too much because I wasn't there, right? But that's what I heard. But again, the good thing is he was conscious on the sideline, and I'm happy about that. Say it again. Yes, he did.
Yeah. So it wasn't like a contact thing.
I can't tell you that.
Just what's your philosophy on just camp fights all day?
Listen, these things always happen. The thing is when they do happen, is it continuous and is it the same players? When it comes to the same players like we had, then you kick the players out because it becomes more than just practice. And that's on both sides. But for the most part, I think guys do a really good job in that situation. And sometimes you want to make sure that you get a chance to just finish practice out because you don't get these opportunities too many times to be able to practice against another team, especially a good team like that, to see exactly where you're at. So that would be my philosophy. If it continues to happen over and over again with the same guys, you kick those players out.
Dave, did you feel like your defense was frustrating then? Is that what it was?
I have to really watch the tape. There's a lot of things within this that I'm looking at when it comes to these joint practices. But I thought our defense did a pretty good job. Listen, we have a ways to go, and I understand that. But our guys are starting to understand exactly what I'm trying to create when it comes to defense, and the guys are executing exactly like I want them to act.
We see Bailey do it against you guys and flash consistently in the backfield.
Yeah.
It seemed, you were over there on the D. It seemed like he was doing it again. So what does it mean when you see it now against people not?
Well, we all know that he's a good player. We all know that he's a damn good pass rusher. So there's times where you expect that. Does that make sense? You expect him to win a number of his battles when it comes to that. And then you also expect things to happen to where you have to coach him. He's going to learn some things too. So it really goes both ways when you look at that. But I'm anxious to really watch the tape. And I'm anxious to the plays that he didn't do well to see exactly why and how he's going to learn from that. So I'm more excited to watch that, to be able to coach him and be able to say, okay, this is what we got to do in these situations. These situations, I expect you to do that. When these situations, when you don't win, I want to coach you how to make sure you operate in that situation.
There's pass rushers around the NFL that take a year or two to get there to really start making an impact. You've been around some guys that make it right away, but it seems like David's on the track to do that.
Well, we'll see.
When can you tell? Is there a point where you can tell you have to wait for Sundays, or can you know, all right, this guy can be an immediate impact player?
One thing that you can tell is the all the talent, everything that you saw coming out of college was real. So you know that. And then when they get in pads, okay, all the stuff, that's real. So now how do we get him to get to that next level? Because and David will tell you, he's not looking at where he's at right now. He's looking at where he's going to be, 2 years from now. And he wants to get there right now. That's how competitive he is. But that's what we're working on. How do we get him to get to that next level? And it's going to take practice after practice after practice to be able to do that.
Middle of that first dust up a little bit. It looked like some of your young guys like Mebu and Darryl Jackson. Is that youthful exuberance?
I think that has a lot to do with it. Because I'll tell you what, the vets are not going to do that. I don't think you see DeMario and any of those older guys It's a lot of energy that's wasted doing that. So the thing is, those guys just have to learn. And, hopefully we can come out tomorrow and just not have that. Let's have a good practice, and let's finish this thing up.
In terms of the offseason, you bring in guys like Sweat, Moray, Onimata, are all bigger guys that can play multiple spots.
Yeah.
New Orleans, Detroit, kind of bigger fronts last year. I feel like you guys are a little lighter up front. Is that a pointed exercise for you guys this year, bringing in a bigger front?
That was very intentional. It's what I believe in when it comes to playing this game. And I've said it before, it's a big man's game. And if you believe that, you want to go get big people. So that's exactly what we did. But it's more than just getting big guys. It's big guys that's agile and that has the ability to move. Because in the defensive front, you always want to be able to move in some circumstances. So these guys are able to do that. And plus they're able to hold a point and be able to take on double teams. That's what this run game is for the most part across the league. You see this duo run game that everybody's running. And if you can't defend that, it's hard to play in this league. It's hard to play good defense in this league. So those guys are doing a good job for us.
You say about what Dane Belton's been doing in camp. He made some plays today, and I feel like as time's gone on, he's gotten better and better.
Yeah, it's no different than what I've been saying. Every time you guys ask me about him, he knows what to do. He knows how to do it. He's a ball magnet. And he's damn good on special teams. So there's a real value to that player. So, and listen, it's competition, and guys know that. And we still have a long way to go. So we'll see what happens.
What have you made of Dane Belton? You bring him in, and he's looked the part. What have you made of him just continuing to show himself at camp?
Forgive me for that. But Dane's been a good player for us. And listen, now I want to ask the question. And we knew it coming out of the Giants. I knew him in college. When you can get a guy that, as heady as he is, that make as many plays on the ball as he is, man, you try to figure out how do you get him on the field. And it's up to him. It's up to him to decide his playing time. Am I going to be a starter? Am I going to be a backup? And I think that's across the league with any player. You decide that. And listen, I think all our guys know it's competition. So I like what he brings to the table. And listen, the arrow's up on that player.
For you personally, when you're calling plays on defense and making that a point this year, how does a day like today, when you're playing against another team and getting to see your guys and your game plan go out there and execute and change and ramp things up?
Well, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to see exactly your concepts against another team's concepts. And how do our guys operate with that? Because, listen, going against our offense every day, it can get a little mundane. And we kind of know what we're going to get. But once you go against another team and those same concepts seem to work, I think it gives the players confidence in what we're doing. So I think today, our players got a lot of confidence in what we're doing. Listen, we still have a ways to go, and I understand that. We have about 85-90% of our system in. We still have a couple of things that we have to put in as far as short yards and goal line and things like that. So I'm happy where we're at, But again, and I've said this before, I want to get to the point where I love where we're at, but I'm liking it a lot. I would tell you that.
Have you made a decision on Friday yet in terms of starters playing?
Everybody's playing. Everybody's playing.
Why do you feel like starters to play?
Because that's what I want to do, for the most part. And listen, you have two new systems, that's going in, and I think it's important for our guys to play. Now, there were signs behind this also, as far as having joint practices and trying to get the guys at least throughout the preseason, 25 to 30 reps. I'm talking about all three games, So, and I don't know how I'll divvy that up. It's a field when you go into preseason, but what they say is, when you get joint practices where the ones get a lot of reps, and then you have that many plays, 25 to 30 in the preseason games throughout those three games, the risk of injury actually goes down in that first part of the year. So, just talking to those guys, I'm a big believer in that. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
A couple more.
Player we haven't talked about, Dane Belton.
I knew you were going to do that.
Yeah, Garrett made that catch and juke. that Garrett made
Yeah.
on the red zone drill. I know I think you were
Yeah,
there for
we
that
were all
at
there
that
for that
point.
one.
I
Yep.
mean, just when you see him do things like that, I mean, as a coach, somebody who's kind of grown up on the defensive side of the ball, what do you think? What do you say?
Smile.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You smile. And again, I mean, you expect that from a player like that. And when you go against a defense, and that was the ones, you know, when you go against a defense of that magnitude and you see your players be able to make plays like that, again, first thing you expect out of that player. And then secondly, you're excited because, man, you know he's in it. And it's not just, man, I'm trying to catch and I'm trying to get down. I'm trying to catch, I'm trying to score, I'm trying to make something happen. And that's what we're expecting those guys. And now Garrett, within this system, is able to use his instincts but also be disciplined about how he's doing things. And that's good to see.
Last one, you mentioned obviously the amount of reps from joint practices and then preseason games. Last year was a lot made about like full speed tackling and early on in camp, and obviously starters didn't play a ton in the preseason. Was that something you guys looked at the sports science side before the season, of just like how do we get the most out of these guys to be ready week one versus also ready further down?
Absolutely. And as a head coach, you evolve in how you're trying to operate and how you're trying to get your team ready for week one. And there's a number of things that I've evolved in when it comes to that. So, for example, you hear us talk about thud competitive, and that's when we have the pads on. And what I want our guys to do, any runner that's in the box or in the paint, listen, we're thudding them up, we're stopping the ball. The runners know it, and then they're finishing their run. Anything outside of it, man, we don't want to have any type of angle tackles, but we want to actually stay up. You know, I think it helps with injury, but for the most part, when you just do live tackling in general, what's the first thing the DB is going to do? Say it again. Yes. And is that good tackling technique? Not at all. But when you teach thud, you have to stay up and actually wrap somebody up and be able to grab cloth. So, and I'm big on that. And I want to be the best tackling team in the league. And the only way to do that is to practice thud, so guys can stay on their feet, wrap up, and be able to run through tackle. And I'm talking defensively.